Hey, it's September 16th with the Pig Dogs Morning Show, man. I got a great group of handicappers with me, man, to help us talk about some college football today. We got some baseball today, too, but a lot of college football as it is college football Saturday. Um, man, excited, man. Let's make some money today. And let's go ahead and hop right into who we got. First up, I'm going to bring in Big Al McMorty. Big Al, man, how you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. Long time no see. We were just talking yesterday with you and me and Costi on your NFL show. That was a great show yesterday. I hope everyone caught it. Now we'll talk some college football today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Talking some college football Saturday, and then right back at it tomorrow with the NFL. But not the best card of college football, in my opinion. We got some good games, but last week I thought was a major card, and then next week I think is really good as well. This week, kind of solid games, not the best games, but pretty good betting opportunities.
Yeah, and I was thinking the same thing. Not a lot of games we care about as fans, but a much. I mean, I think it's a much better betting card than last week, for example. So I thought yesterday's card, I had, some big plays yesterday, had Maryland, easy winner against Virginia. Um, Off to a good start this year, so far, 17-8 this football season, 9-4 college, 8-4 NFL. I've got 14 plays today, including my NCAA non-conference game of the month. That's an early kick for those who want to get on board with some early action. So it's a really good betting card on this Saturday.
There you go. There you go. There you go. What we looking at free pick wise for the guys today?
I'm going to look at a non-conference matchup. The Toledo Rockets are playing at home. It goes at 7 p.m. They racked up 71 points last week. They blew out Texas Southern by 68, and the Rockets are now 2-0 ATS. They also covered in week one as a 7.5 point road underdog at Illinois. They did lose that game 30-28, but they easily covered the 7.5 point spread. I do like the Rockets as a home favorite this evening. Single digit home favorites or pick them. They've covered 67% of non-conference games going all the way back to 1980 after scoring 70 or more points in the previous game. Toledo's also 34-21 ATS at home versus opponents off a straight up win. Meanwhile, San Jose 0-8 ATS, their last eight as single digit non conference underdogs. I think the Rockets roll this evening. I'm going to lay the points with Toledo.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Big Al laying the points with Toledo. They blew Texas Southern out the water.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people that go to Texas Southern. So and they were not enthused with how Toledo did them. And it was I don't know. I think Toledo's that damn good, and I understand why the line is where it's at in this game, and I could see them putting it to San Jose early.
Yeah, I'm a big fan in college football. I handicap college football differently than I do the NFL. In college football, one of the things I like uh, is taking teams that can score. I like teams. College football is much more of a momentum sport than say the NFL, which is much more up and down. You'll see teams in the NFL come back, after bad games. Whereas in college, I look a lot at momentum, and when you get a team like Toledo that's coming off this big win, this to me is a buy signal. I'm going to lay the points.
There you go, Big Al laying the points with Toledo. Tell them what you got for sale again one more time.
I've got 14 plays today. Football is here. For guys who like
It's here,
action, I'm a
baby.
good handicapper to go with. I'm not shy about putting up games. When I see something I like, I will play it. And we've got 14 plays today in college football, including my non-conference game of the month. And please note that's an early kickoff, so don't sleep in. You might miss it. And yeah, it's going to be a good day.
Yes, sir. Hop on with Big Al McMorty, man. I appreciate you joining me, and ton of video content from you throughout the week. We did this week, so y'all guys can go watch that as well. Get ready for the NFL tomorrow, and hopefully I see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be back Sunday. Thanks so much, Jay. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir. See you tomorrow. Big Al McMorty joining me there, man. Like I said, I got a great crew of guys with me today, man, to help us make some money today betting college football. That was Big Al right there. Been doing it for a really long time. I got another guy coming up next who's been doing it for a long time as well. An OG at Pig Dogs is what I call him. Let's bring him in right now. my guy Brian Bittler. Brian, what's up, my man?
I tell you, it's always tough to follow one of my favorite guys, and that's Big Al. He's just a legend in the business and just a good guy all around. But I'm gonna try to follow it up with a winner. Yesterday was tough on me, 0-3, but Saturday's my day. I'm set to bounce back, and it might not be a great card to watch, but I agree with Big Al. A lot of opportunities out there to make some money.
Definitely, definitely. Um, Yesterday wasn't my best day either. I was 0-3 as well. Two baseball and college football didn't go my way, but overall, having a great college football season. So I think you are as well. So I'm definitely finna bounce back today. And free pick wise for the guys, what we looking at today?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I think the bandwagon here is fired up for Kansas State as we do see a good majority of people backing them, and seemingly what is seemingly a small number here. Kansas State has opened up the year with 2 wins, but that was against Southeast Missouri State and the Troy Trojans. Missouri here on its third straight home game and a chance to break into the top 25. I think with an upset here if they can pull it off at home. It's also a revenge spot for Missouri, who got rolled last year 40-12. Head to head, Missouri holds a 5-2 series lead. But recent cover wise, Missouri has not been good to bettors as they've missed the cover 3 straight games. I love revenge minded home dogs here. I think this game comes down to a field goal, so sticking 3.5 in my pocket. I'm going to take the Missouri Tigers here plus the points against Kansas State.
Brian B taking Missouri at home versus Kansas State. It's a tough one. This is a tough one because Kansas State is, in my mind, always one of those teams that is really good but always underrated. Like people just underrate Kansas State. I don't know why. Shout out Kansas State for Deuce Vaughn now on my Dallas Cowboys. But Missouri, they are 2-0. I question the competition, but like you said, home dog here in a series where these two teams have competed. Kansas State got the better of them recently, but you're telling me it's time to go the other way with Missouri, and we got to look at this one.
Yeah, I tell you what, right? You're absolutely right. Kansas State often overlooked here, but I think I'd be more apt to back Kansas State if they were playing a team like Texas or Alabama or Oklahoma. But I think in this spot, I think Missouri might be a little bit overlooked at home. Not that they've beaten anybody, but they got to get their first big win, and I think they could get it at home today.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Brian B taking Missouri. Huge day. A lot of college football on the board. What you have for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I got 5 premium plays, a premium play for college football across the board, but my best bet is my titanium play, and that goes off, I believe it's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So guys have all day to get in on it over at pickdogs.com. Just $15 gets you that best bet. Or you can get my Ultimate Revenge 3-pack. That's my 3 best bets in college football, all in prime time tonight for $50. Guaranteed to turn a profit, so make sure you head on over to pickdogs.com and pick it up.
Hop on with Brian Bittler. We talked NFL earlier in the week. I'm ready for that schedule. I think that schedule is a pretty tough schedule, but I'm ready for that tomorrow. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow as we can talk that as well.
Definitely love hanging out with all my friends at pickdogs.com. This is a highlight of my day. After I get off here, I'm just going to go down and start working on the NFL for tomorrow. But definitely enjoyed seeing you, Jay, and you have a good one. Hopefully it's a profitable day for you.
Same to you as well. And I'll see you tomorrow.
See you, Jay.
Brian Bittler. There you go. Brian Bittler joining me there, man. Continuing on with the All-Star cast I got today, running down some college football. Just had Big Al McMorty, then Brian. And next up, we bring in Hot Rod, talking some more college football. Rod, man, what's up?
No, not too much. Looking to have a great Saturday college football. Nice Friday, 2-0 start. So let's continue rolling and get some more winners for these nice fine folks.
Let's do it. What are we looking at today, free pick wise for the guys?
Free pick wise, we're going to go to James Madison taking on Troy, and Troy's a team we've definitely covered here before on the morning show on Saturdays. And we're looking at this one. Then James Madison 2-0, Troy 1-1 on the season. And for me, this Troy team, definitely not the same defense we seen last season to start this season. They definitely been giving up the points. They've given up 30 points and 42 points in the first 2 games of this season. And this James Madison offense, I think they'll be able to get some points and score some on Troy with Jordan McLeod at the helm and Tyson Lawton running the ball. Definitely very good offensively. But the big thing for me here, getting back to that Troy defense, I think they definitely give up the points, and James Madison can take a nice lead here. They last time out, it took a weather delay, but they bounced back and nice drive down the field late and got the win over Virginia last time out. Big upset win there for them. And you roll along, and big thing here for me as well is James Madison's defense. I think this Troy offense is a little bit one-sided where they like to run the ball. They're a very run-heavy team here. And this James Madison defense, they love to stop the run. It's what they do the best at. They're going to make Gunnar Henderson use his arm and throw the ball, and he's definitely struggled this season throwing the ball. He hasn't been good. He's got a 54.3 QB rating. He's thrown for 365 yards, 5 TDs, 2 interceptions, and he's lucky it's only been 2 interceptions so far this season. I'm going to take JMU to win this one outright. Take them on the money line. I think they upset Troy. I think they turned Troy into a one-dimensional offense by holding down Vidal on the run there, and make Gunnar Henderson have to throw. And if he can't find the receivers down the field, it's going to be a long day for Troy. Take JMU.
So I watched JMU out of that weather delay last week. I think I had them like in a random parlay on the money line, so they had made one of my monitors, and it was a totally different football game after that weather delay because they were really out of it, and they somehow fought their way back into it and won it late. This is a good JMU team, and I don't think that's on a lot of people's roster. I don't think they covered the original line, but I remember they did win outright because I think they were favored over Virginia last week. This Troy team, I look at them, they got smashed last week. Kansas State, I was just talking to Brian. That team's underrated, man. I don't know. Kansas State's underrated. They smashed Troy. I like the direction you're going. I thought getting plus money on a solid JMU team, I think is a pretty good place to be.
I like him here. I think they do good. Yeah, the weather delay. If you look at that from the start of that game, they jumped out to a 14-0 lead, and then Virginia reeled them back in, and then it took the weather delay. I think the weather delay hurt Virginia more than it did JMU. That weather delay definitely got them to be able to regroup and get things going, and nice comeback out of that weather delay. But in the spot with Troy, the way they run the ball, Jay Madison D, they love to stop the rush, and I think that's what they do. They key in on Vidal on this one, and I think he has a rough day, and he's been the reason why Troy has been able to score some points, and I think their defense gives it up big. They've given up 72 to start the season. I think James Madison.
There you go. Hot rod on James Madison. What you got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium today?
And over at Pick Dogs Premium today, off a nice 2-0 day on college football yesterday. I'm starting the day with my early Saturday triple, and then follow it up with a nice Saturday night 5-pack, 8 plays in total over there today, including my 10-star play of the day. We're on a nice 60-44 run with it. It is included in my Saturday 5-pack, so head on over, scoop that up to continue on a nice Friday into Saturday.
Hop on with Hot Rod, man. I appreciate you joining me today. Any bonus plays? Anything?
Sure, we did good yesterday. The bonus plays on the drive too, so let's give you a couple more. CFL, we hit both yesterday. Today's we took 2 underdogs yesterday. Today we're going to go with 2 favorites. We're going to take the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who are the better team, over the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the Hall of Fame game in the CFL. It's minus 6.5 late points. Winnipeg wins by 10+ in that one. And then the other one, the Red Blacks on the road this season, 1-5 ATS on the road this season, 1-5 straight up. They have not been good on the road. BC at home, laying 9.5. They blow up the Red Blacks. So take the 2 favorites in the CFL today.
There you go.
WNBA is off today. They're back tomorrow from the playoffs. So
there you go. Hot Rod with the CFL bonus players. Appreciate you joining me, my man, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good luck with your bets today, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
There you go. There you go. Hot rod, hot rod, hot rod. Moving on, moving on, moving on. Next up, bring in Ron the Don. Ron Romanelli. What's up, my man?
Hey Jay, I agree with Big Al and Brian. I think it's not the most entertaining college football card on paper, but I think it's the best one betting wise so far this season. So I'm excited. I got a lot of plays in there and ready to go.
Let's get him, man. I don't have as many. I think I have like 5 today in college football, but we'll see how today breaks down. I think it's an interesting card. I do. I think we're going to learn a lot about a few teams this week in some of their matchups. But like the heavy hitting matchups are next week. But like you said, there's a lot of value out there on the board today, a lot of money to be potentially made. And I got the best group of guys to talk it with, including yourself. So what you thinking?
Yeah, I'm going to one of the uglier games on the board in terms of the steeper spreads. You got Michigan and Bowling Green. Michigan, I think, is laying 40.5 points right now, 41 points in some books. Michigan has been big favorites to start the year, the first 2 weeks, and East Carolina and UNLV. They didn't come close to covering either of those spreads really, and yet they're still a 40-point favorite in this one. I think for good reason. I think that Bowling Green, one of the weaker teams in FBS football this year, really on both sides of the ball, and we saw week 1 for Bowling Green, and this was a team going into the season that thought it had upgrades at the quarterback position. And Connor Bazelak, he wasn't great in Missouri, wasn't great at Indiana. I didn't think it was going to translate to Bowling Green either. And, he struggled in that when we saw Bowling Green's quarterback play give up 5 interceptions in that first game at Liberty, and they were -4 in the turnover differential. Liberty's run defense is not good enough. It's not very good in that game, so Bowling Green was able to move the ball on the ground. But against Michigan, Michigan last week giving up only 61 rushing yards and 2 yards per carry to UNLV. I don't think Bowling Green's going to be able to move the ball on the ground. So you're forcing this Falcons team to try to beat you through the air. And as we saw, Bazelak and Orth, the backup quarterback, just could not get it done week 1. So I think Bowling Green's offense doesn't do much at all. I'd be surprised if they get to double digits. I think Michigan's defense holds them to potentially a shutout in this game. And, Michigan, I think their offense has its biggest week of the season. We saw them, kind of 30, 35 points the first 2 games. Not what we're used to seeing from this Wolverines team. I think Michigan runs the ball all over Bowling Green. We saw week 1 Bowling Green against Liberty give it up 250 rushing yards and 5 yards per carry. Michigan should be able, very strong offensive line, has yet to give up a sack this season. Michigan should have all day long in the pocket when it comes to the passing game. They should run the ball at will. I think Michigan wins this game in the 50-3 kind of range. So give me Michigan in the big number.
We're on the Don, taking Michigan to blow out Bowling Green. How's it go? Michigan.
Yeah. Michigan, or Michigan State.
I see it in this game, though. I see it. They're the number 2 ranked team in the country for a reason. And Bowling Green, they beat up on somebody last week, but you know how that goes. Liberty also got them by 10, but Liberty's not even still Michigan, even though I like Liberty. So 40 is a lot of lumber to lay, but by halftime, it's probably only going to be like 10 points to lay in the second half. It's usually how these go.
I think so. Maybe they might even be covered by halftime. I wouldn't be shocked to see like a 35-0 or 42-0 kind of score at halftime, and then you got to sweat out the backups a little bit. But Michigan with the recruiting, this team is loaded. They have a ton of depth on both sides of the ball, so I wouldn't be too concerned with that. And the MAC, these guys, they usually play their starters even when they're getting crushed until the end of the game. But I don't think it's going to matter. I just think Michigan's just too potent on both sides of the ball.
There you go. From Ron to Don. You were talking, you had quite a few amount of plays, man. About how many you got today for them in college football?
I got about 11 many. I got 11 in college football and a baseball play as well. So, if you did a 2-for-1 or 3-for-1, you team me up with Big Al, I think you'd have, what is he? I forgot how many he said, but something in the 20s, it's a ton 14, of plays.
I think he's at 14.
Yeah. So, check out those long-term plans. The best deal, I got a 3-pack in the early games, evening games. I got an early winner, play of the night, all those, different individual games. But check out the long-term plans to get all those plays, and then you get the NFL tomorrow, and of course Monday Night Football and baseball, and 1-2 straight rundown best bets. So looking to do some damage here on Saturday, and certainly the best college football betting card I've seen this season.
There you go. You heard it from Ron the Don. Hop on with him, man. Check out all his video content, of course, over at the YouTube channel. And I appreciate you joining me, my man, and we'll talk some NFL tomorrow.
All right, Jay. Good luck, everybody.
There you go, Ron the Don joining me. I always love talking with Ron. Moving on next. I'm going to bring in part of the morning show during the week, Chris Ruffolo. Let's see what my guy Ruffolo talking about. What's up, Roof?
Jay, how's it going? I'm ready for like you guys said earlier, not the sexiest college football card on paper, but still plenty of money to be made, and I'm excited to do it.
Let's do it. I forgot to mention that with Ron, but you, Ron, and Mitch shot the college football show early in the week, so you've been through these games up and down. So I know the free pick. I know the premiums is already loaded up, ready to go for sure, but I know you got a fire free pick for us. What you got for the guys today?
Today I'm going to go to a game that I think we talked about, as well in the morning show. I'm going to look at this FAU Clemson game, and I get it. I get why Clemson's favored at home here. It's Death Valley. It's against a group of 5 opponent in FAU. That's all well and good, but we're still being asked to lay 24.5 here with a Clemson team that hasn't been all that impressive through the first 2 games. Yeah, sure, they won 66-17 against FCS Charleston Southern last week, but that game was tight early on. It was 21-17 going into the half before Clemson really poured it on in the second half. I think they put up 42 points in the second half in that game. But now if you're Clemson, you face a team with a pulse in FAU, a team that's actually looked decent, with former Texas quarterback Casey Thompson transferring and now taking over the starting role there. And I'm concerned with Clemson having one eye on Florida State next week. It's a massive game in the ACC. And FAU, like I said, they've been respectable. They've been respectable in spots like this. And now that this line has gone through another key number at 24, if this game was at 23.5, may have had a little bit of a tougher time with Clemson, but I could see a 38-14 win for Clemson here. Something where they do just enough to sort of look dominant, but not give too much away here. Like I said, now I think the back door is wide open with FAU. I'm going to take FAU plus the 24.5 here. I am just not sold on Clemson right now.
Ruffalo taking the FAU plus the points over Clemson. So, yeah, we did talk about this one a little bit on the morning show, and I was saying that I think Duke is that damn good. I think Duke is pretty good. But B, I think Clemson is just overrated, and they always are. Klubnik doesn't light the world on fire for me. Is he decent? Yeah. Can he make plays? Yeah. But in the big games, I don't trust that guy. Shipley, he's been there for forever, I feel like. Clemson just is overrated to me. And could I see them trying to come out here and beat up on FAU? Yeah. But like you said, I think that back door is wide open in this game. And they might be, and I think the value in this one is on FAU as well.
Yeah, I think it's just where the number is moved. I think this is necessarily not a play on FAU as much as it is the number with Clemson. And like you said, I think today we're starting to. Well, I don't want to even say today because Northwestern's in shambles. I was going to say today's maybe where we see where Duke really is, but I think there's just some stigma with Duke. Like maybe like this is a Duke team that prior to Mike Elko's first year last year really hadn't been doing very much. They had David Cutcliffe, we joke that he's the quarterback whisperer, but he didn't really. Duke wasn't really doing much, the last few years, and I still think that Duke has potential to be a solid team this year. Maybe an 8-win team go bowling again. Again, you have to give it more than 1 year, I think, to give it a true sample size. They did look really good against Clemson in week 1, and I want to see where Clemson is at. I think today and especially next week against Florida State, it's going to be the real eye test of where we see where this Clemson team really is.
Fair enough. What you got for sale today over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, I got a lot on the board today. Yeah, I know a lot of us have had a fair number of plays for college football today. For me, I got my $19 college football platinum play The Saturday Platinum played 2-0 so far this season. Had a pair of solid winners with that. Looking to go for 3 straight here. Also got an early action 3-pack, and I got a Moneyline Dogs 3-pack as well. Probably going to have a primetime 3-pack as well as an MLB play on the board as well. So tons of action going on the board, and I think Ron just alluded to it. Best way to go with these weekend plays is definitely checking out the long-term passes. I mean, I think a 3-day pass day is cheaper than buying each package individually, and you're going to get NFL as well as some baseball. So definitely the way to go, whether it's just with me or any combination of our captures, part of the multi-capper deal at Pick Dogs.
Hop on with Ruffolo, pair him up 2-for-1, 3-for-1, 4-for-1, however you want to do it, man. You can do it over at Pick Dogs Premium. Appreciate you joining me, and we'll see you tomorrow talking some NFL.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be here. Looking forward to it.
For sure. I'll try not to get into it with Mitch later today in the show.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Good luck.
Y'all know I love Mitch, man. Rolling right along with the show. Next up, I got my guy Wayne Scott. What's up, Wayne?
What's going on, Jay? What's going on, Pick Dog family? Exciting day of college football, man. I'm actually liking this card. I like when you got some mismatches like we have today, man. Some of these smaller teams getting a little chance against a good team. Some of these bigger spreads, if you've been paying attention, it's you can actually, like some of these guys been staying, you can actually capitalize on some of these games. So I like this card a little more than everybody else might like it today.
Yeah. Maybe I'm hating on the card a little bit. Maybe I have been downplaying the card a bit. I don't know. I got like 5 or 6 that I'm really confident in. Those are my premiums, and I got a few flyers too. But I don't know. I'm as y'all know, as Mitch points out on the morning show, college football is a game I'm still learning. It's a game that is not my first love. Pro sports are, but I'm really enjoying college football this year. We're making money betting it, and I'm gonna sit on my couch and watch it all day today. And like I said, I got the best group of guys to talk with and help me make some money betting it today. And got Wayne with me right now. So Wayne, what we looking at free pick wise, man?
This one was right off my premium. I only got 4 college football bets in today. This would have been 5. We're going to this Penn State versus Illinois game, and I don't think the book's quite adjusted to how Illinois might look this season. And I think the lines we're getting are based off how well they have been last season. They're 1-1 on the season, but they could easily be 0-2. They just got past Toledo barely. They got smacked up by Kansas State. And this is just simply not the same Illinois team from last year, that top defensive team that we seen in Illinois, number 1 in scoring defense last year. You can't forget these guys lost 3 players in the top 3 rounds, man. And as good as this coach is, that's just hard to replace the next year when you're not one of these elite programs. And they got the transfer, the Mississippi transfer, Luke Altmaier, holding the ball on offense 90% of the time, and he just hasn't looked good in these first games. He's thrown an interception in both of these games. He had 2 touchdowns with his feet last game, and that's because he had to run. He just hasn't been throwing the ball very good, man. And people don't talk enough to me about this Penn State team or what they can do in this Big Ten. It's a lot of Michigan, Ohio State talk, but I think this Penn State team is legit, and they are the team to beat. They smacked up West Virginia early. They smacked up Delaware last week. Their sophomore quarterback, and Drew Aller, he is amazing. 4 touchdowns, 0 interception. I love the way that they got this kind of check with me offense. This is the offense that I run, where they run to the line of scrimmage and try to draw you off sides. They look at the coach. They kind of get to play that way, and it always puts this quarterback in a good position to always give the best play. To me, to beat this Penn State team, you have to have a solid running game. I do not think Illinois has the running attack to mix up with Penn State. And I think Penn State do what they've done in the previous game, which is kind of load the box, trust in their top secondary. This, if you don't know, Penn State has one of the best secondaries in college football. They load the box, a little thin in the ass up front, but they load the box they force you into throwing it in the hand. They get up early. They make you have to pass against these guys. And like I said, just because they're lighting the ass in the run game, it benefits them in the pass game. They really get after the quarterback when they're forced in this situation. So with all that being said, I love Penn State here, minus the 14. In some books, you got them at 14 and a half, even 15. So I see it, and I think they cover whatever spread you get them at. I think they win this game by about 20, 21 points.
Yeah, we saw Kansas beat up on Illinois, and that in their last one, Kansas, I think another team that's underrated. Kind of like most people, kind of like Duke. I mean, people think they're just still basketball schools, but I got some football players now. And Penn State, they're ranked high at 7 for a reason. I saw this line. I thought it was pretty light as well. Illinois does step up in spots. That's the thing, and they're at home, but I'm with you. I don't know if it's enough against Penn State today. Penn State, if things go how they're supposed to, Penn State should win this game 17-21 plus. Like if things,
Yeah.
if things just go how they're supposed to, man on man, player on player, I think Penn State should win this game comfortably. Now, it's college football, and everybody will tell you things can go that ball will bounce differently in college football. They do. Hell, I seen Army coming out throwing the football last night and scored hella points on UTSA. So it's a different game, man. You just never know what's gonna happen. But
I'm definitely with you, man. Things can happen, man. Definitely, like you said, college football. But just like you said, talent for talent. This Penn State team, depth all over the place. Playing mistake-free football too. That's the big thing. When Illinois is lots of turnovers, and they just, as I mentioned, do not have the same team that you think they might have defensively to even hold a team like Penn State down. So I can't. I hear your point, but I really can't see it, man. I bet this game, but it's just I just didn't put it in the premium section. But yeah, I love this game today. Penn State here, man. They're definitely going to be showing people that they are one of the top 10 teams in the Big Ten, man.
There you go, Penn State. What you got for sale today over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I have 4 college football plays there and 1 baseball. I have a 3-pack for the later games, and my play today in college football is in the early 12 o'clock game. So if you want to get on that play with me, you're going to have to scoop that up pretty early. Even if you missed that play, I do have some later games packed up in the 3-pack. So you can grab that. As these guys have stated, you got plenty of guys with plenty of play. So if you need a bigger card, man, pair me up with one of these guys with these big cards, and let's cash for the day, man.
There you go. Hop on with Wayne, man. I think you've been tearing it up on the leaderboard. I didn't look at it today, but I've been seeing it over the past week.
2 and 3 yesterday, but the 2 days before that, 3-0, 3-0, 3-1.
Yeah, I've been seeing that for sure. So hop on with Wayne. I'm sure you got a big weekend coming up, and we'll talk some NFL tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I'll be here with you tomorrow. Appreciate you for having me, Jay. Good luck on all your best.
There you go. Hop on with Wayne, man. Hop on with Wayne. Moving right along with the show, man. I told you I got a great crew of guys. Told you I got a great crew of guys to help us talk through some football. So moving right along with the show. Next up. I believe I'm going to Mr. Dime Club right here. I believe that's who's next up. I know it's David. What's up, David?
What's going on, Jay? Sorry, I had a little technical issues this morning.
Oh, no, it's all good, man. It happens, man. It happens. College football Saturday, though, man. It's that time of year. Football's back in action. Out of the dog days of summer. We were excited for it, but then it kind of hits you. It's like, damn, like, now we actually got to do all the work that's involved with it.
Yeah, it's good though. We get to watch football all day for 2 days out of the week. So what's better than that, right?
Definitely. What we looking at free pick wise for the guys today?
Yeah, so I'm looking at this Rutgers and Virginia Tech game today. Rutgers comes into this one as a pretty sizable home favorite, which is kind of weird to see. But they are 2-0 after beating Northwestern and Temple. in their first 2 games. They looked pretty solid in that last game against Temple, racking up over 450 yards of total offense. But I really don't know how good. I mean, we know Northwestern's terrible, and Temple's really not that good either. So I need to see Rutgers put up a solid showing against a solid team. And they have the opportunity to do that here against Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's not great by any means, as they lost at home to Purdue last week, which was a pretty disappointing loss a week after Purdue gave up almost 40 points to Fresno State. But Virginia Tech really struggled out of the gates in that one. They had to deal with a weather delay as well, but they were down 17-0 very early. They ended up coming back, tying it at 17, only to put up no points in the second half. So they only put up 286 total yards against that Purdue team, which is concerning. But quarterback Grant Wells threw a few interceptions. That's kind of been his issue. He's a solid player if he can avoid the turnovers, but he can't really avoid the turnovers, so that's a problem. Virginia Tech is dealing with some injuries. Quarterback Grant Wells is questionable. Jalen Lane, one of their best 2 receivers, is also questionable, while Ollie Jennings is the second receiver, and he's out. So they are dealing with some injury issues, but I'm actually going to still take Virginia Tech plus the points here. I just think 7 points to this Rutgers team is too much to give. I know Virginia Tech struggled against Purdue. I know they're dealing with some injuries, but after all, it is Rutgers. We need to see them put up a solid showing. They are better than the Rutgers that we saw a few years ago, but I need to see them prove that they can beat a Power 5 team that's not Northwestern, before I take them. So I'm going to take Virginia Tech here. And if Wells can avoid the turnovers, I do think Virginia Tech can get the win.
David taking Virginia Tech plus the points in this one. I hear you, Sam. You want to pump the brakes on Rutgers. I understand. They beat the brakes off Northwestern and Temple.
They did.
Virginia Tech played Purdue pretty tough last week. This is one of the tough games for me on the schedule. That I'm on the fence. I wanted to take Rutgers. I think Rutgers is legitimate this year, but I didn't take them. I stayed off the fence. I'm on the fence because a lot of the things that you highlighted. If Virginia Tech can cut down on some turnovers, they did beat up on Old Dominion, competed with. I think many people like that Purdue team this year, man. They looked decent in that game. And they had that weather delay, so it's kind of hard to evaluate, what to take from all that. I don't know. I'm going to lean with you, though. Let's go.
It is.
I'm on the fence about it. I'm still on the fence.
And I was reading an article that was just posted right before I came on, and it was about those injuries to Virginia Tech. So keep an eye on that, because they did say Grant Wells was worse off this morning than they thought earlier this week. So it is a possibility Wells doesn't play. And if he doesn't play, they have that transfer from Baylor, Drones, I want to say his last name is. But so that is definitely a potential issue, because earlier in the week, I knew Wells was banged up, but they still said they thought he would go. Now he's a game time decision, and they're not sure. So definitely keep an eye on his status. I know it's tough to get updates on college guys.
Yeah,
but
college football, they got to update that, man, where they got to put the injury report out.
I'm in a college football fantasy league, and it's impossible to know. You'll think you have a solid lineup, and then all of a sudden guys just don't play because they're either hurt or suspended, and they just didn't say anything, and you're just putting up zeros. It's perfect.
Yep. Sounds about right for college football. I've never known people do college football fantasy league. That's crazy.
Well, it's only Power 5, so that kind of helps, but that's still a lot of teams.
Yep. That's what's up. What you got for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium today?
Yeah, I have 5 college football plays today. Started the week 2-0 with a win on Thursday and a win on Friday. So coming into the weekend hot, you can look at a couple different packages. I have the games kind of split up. I got a 3-pack, I got an early play, and I have a late play. So head on over to Pick Dogs Premium, check it out, join me for the day, or if you're looking for better value, join long term, or pair me up with another capper. But let's have a great Saturday.
Let's do it. Hop on with David Racy over at Pick Dogs Premium, and I'll see you tomorrow as we talk some NFL.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Good luck today, Jay.
Thank you. Appreciate it. David Racy. Next up now. I believe this should be it's the Don Club. Eric,
What is
what's up, my man?
happening, my man?
What's going on?
I'm sitting in the studio we created in the office. As you had Mike on here yesterday, you saw me sneak in, came out left field. He didn't know I was going to walk in and talk about my halftime plays. And before we get into it, let's talk about being a fan, because I don't know if you get, well, people don't have your private number probably, but since I put it out there on the YouTube channel, this is an exchange. Somebody just said to me, whoa, Alabama would cover 35 over South Florida? You could have said take Tennessee -6 before giving that trash out. Then I looked at the area code. You know, the guy's texting me from Alabama, right? So he's a fan. So the point is, don't let the emotion of being a fan dictate wagering on spreads in football. Of course, if you're watching my video and you're a fan of a particular team or any video on Pick Dogs, you're going to have this guttural emotional reaction, which basically means you're not in it to win it. You're in it because you're a fan. And if you're a fan, that's fine. Rah, rah, put on your pom-poms, jump up and down like a maniac, be a fan. What does that have to do, Jay, with making money? Absolutely nothing. Did I say Alabama was going to lose the game outright? No. I said from a value play on YouTube, you always want to look for the fact that the teams in the top 10 in the NCAA are usually overvalued in college football. So a lot of these systems that we employ, especially when I gave that game out last night, overnight, it's an employable system of, are you going to fundamentally look at Georgia last week? What did they won 42 to something and they didn't cover, right? Like, you've seen teams in the top 10 where they shut out other teams and they still don't cover because the spread is so overinflated. And that's what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to spread betting versus picking the outright winners in baseball. And this is a fundamental issue, as we're blowing up here during actual real time. This is the fundamental flaw that people don't understand. When you see these spreads, a team wins 40-0 and they're laying 42, you got to laugh. They shut out teams and they don't win. So before we get into today, keep the emotion out of it. You're a fan on the left side. Being a fan is like having the devil on your shoulder. Being an angel is like betting for money is having the angel on your shoulder. Are you a fan with the devil on your shoulder? Or are you an angel and all you care about is money on your shoulder? So anyway, what's happening, Jay? How's that Texas team doing for you last night?
They lost for me last night, but we had won 5 in a row before that, and 4 of those were plus money. So, it happens.
Just to give you a little backstory, last night I was dressed up. I was in a suit. I was out. It was the Jewish New Year. I was at a Jewish New Year dinner and in Baltimore, and 75 people were at this dinner, and everybody's doing this in the second inning of the Orioles game. They're all, then they put the phone down. Then they pick, everybody's rooting. Then when it was like 7-1, everybody, you could feel like the air come out of the room. Everybody cared about this, because again, Tampa Bay and the Orioles, they got to get through Tampa Bay if they're going to get something done. So, it was just funny to be in that environment and watch everybody care so much about baseball when we got a whole day of college football.
Yep. Baseball winding down, season really getting interesting. I think this is one of the more interesting Major League Baseball seasons today. I think they're doing a good job switching to trying to cater to a younger audience. And with the availability of betting now and baseball being a daily sport, kind of like the NBA when it's around, stock is rising.
Exactly. Now, regarding baseball, before we get into today's complimentary selection, which I'll break down, it is a spread sport, a money line sport. But like I said, my 80-20 system last week, I released my first play since March 17th of last year, was Florida International plus 10.5, winning the game outright 46-39, plus the 350 on the money line. So again, while everybody takes the spread approach only in football, my groups, my betting syndicates are not only like when you hear handicappers come on the show and they say, I was on some dogs last night. To me, if you're on a dog and you're not playing a portion of your wager on the money line, you're not maximizing that play, because as I'll say every week, you don't want to bet on dogs because you think it's too many points unless it's a free selection. From a betting point of view, you want to bet on a dog that you think has a fighting chance to actually win the game outright. And you want to get rewarded for that at the end of the wager, not saying, oh, wow, that's awesome. My 10.5-point dog won the game outright. Okay, great. Did you make your extra 4-1 on your money for at least a portion of your wager? So that's the value of the underdog strategy. What you're doing is you're betting football like you would bet baseball. And you're not just focusing on the point spreads only, which is what most people do. Most people, as you know, Jay, they're just done with money line betting once football starts. It's strictly point spreads, point spreads, point spreads. And that's how I made 200 units last season, not because I was picking 90% winners, because I was picking 40% winners, but I was playing on the money line. So but now we'll get into today's complimentary selection. Before we end it with a little baseball talk, I'm going, like I said on the YouTube video, I'm going with South Florida, not because I think they're going to win the game outright, because from a betting point of view, for all the listeners out there, just like I gave you the strategies in baseball earlier in the season, if you just take the top 10 teams rated in the coaches poll and you just bet against them on these stupid overinflated prices, at the end of the day, if all the teams in the top 10 were actually playing today, you'd be at worst case probably 5-5 over a long sample size. Does it mean that one weekend all top 10 teams, if they were playing on a Saturday morning, could go 10-0? Sure, that could happen. But I'm saying over a large sample size, you're always going to have a little slight edge to the dog side because they know, unlike that Florida International game last week, most people are keyed into the games that are in the top 25 that are on TV, that are going to have the highest handle and the highest volume, and they're not worried about these little obscure schools in football, just like they're not worried about Southwest Missouri State in college basketball. So again, we're going to take South Florida plus the 33. I see 33.5 in some spots. It might even go up to 34, 35 by game time. And again, they could lose 50-0. Who cares? From a value play, you want to grab the points, and they're at home, Jay, and they're at home. So let's not forget about the fact that Alabama historically is a team that doesn't really try against lower opponents. They play down to their competition, and they've done this year over year, which is why they've been horrible against the spread for your pocketbook year over year over year, because they're going into the game with a chip on their shoulder saying, I know I'm going to win this game. Do they really need to put their starters in the fourth quarter and blow everybody out? I don't think so. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Tell them about the Dime Club.
All you guys got to do is, if you want to text me, I'm running something different. I have the Dime Club, and then, Mike has the full high-volume sharp trading system. The Dime Club, I'm running a promotion for smaller bettors. It's $500 for 1 week. It's $1,000 for 1 month, which is a 50% discount. And like I said on my videos, if you guys don't bet enough that you think you could lose $500 wagering on your own in a week, it's not for you. Head on over to pickdogs.com, buy the premium selections from the amazing stable of handicappers. If you don't think you could lose $1,000 in a month wagering on your own, it's not for you. If you do, though, and you want to give it a shot, you want to try it out for 7 days or for 30 days, 775-636-7676. Now, if you're a larger bettor and you want to take advantage of the first half, we have 3 first half plays today. We'll be watching and monitoring screens for the second halves today. And you want to take advantage of the entire trading component that we do. I have a whole trading floor over here to the left of me you can't see, with 16 traders sitting in front of computers monitoring lines right now. If you want to take advantage of that, you have a 10 dime or bigger bankroll. Just send me a text, say, let's chat, or call me at the 888-419-0435. And as you know, I'll be back here tomorrow. We'll be talking about NFL football. But I got to ask you, what do you give the odds of Texas before we close it out with me and Big Mitch comes on? What do you give the odds of Texas making a run now?
Making a run at what? The World Series?
Yeah. Don't give me the
30,
heart. Don't give me the
30,
fan stuff. Don't give me the devil
30,
on the shoulder stuff.
30.
Okay.
30.
There you go.
I think our offense, if they get hot at the right time, could carry us through. With the loss of Scherzer, though, to a bullpen that's already been through a lot, it dampers it. Next year, oh, I think we're gonna be the best team in baseball when we get DeGrom back.
Okay.
But this year, I think we can still do it, and we'll just see if our offense can propel us through.
All right. Well, like I said, we'll see what the Orioles can do. I'm agnostic at this point. Last couple of days
What are your
coming down
chances
to
of the
earth,
O's? What are your chances of the O's?
I'm done. I just bet
You're
on them
done?
for good prices and make money. I'm done.
So who comes out of the West, or who comes out of the American League?
I Tampa Bay and Atlanta at the end, maybe.
Tampa, Atlanta. Ooh.
I hate to say it. It's so boring.
I'll take
It's so
it.
boring.
I can't say it. I can't say it on air. It's probably going to be. It's probably going to be Houston and Atlanta.
We'll see. We'll see.
That hurt to say, but
it is what it is. Like I said, if you're looking for value, guys, send me a text. I'm here all day trading. We've already played 3 first-half plays. We haven't even released a Dime Club play on the Telegram channel. For all you fans that have that devil on your shoulder, please wipe it off. Get the angel on your shoulder. Worry about money instead of being a fan. Unless you're a kid, and then you have then the angel's on the fan shoulder.
Appreciate you joining me, Eric. I'll see you tomorrow.
You got it, buddy.
Next up, man. Next up. I'm going to bring in last and final guest of the show, Money Man Mitch on this college football Saturday. What's up?
I don't know, man. I think Eric, when he said, I'll see you tomorrow, I think he meant he was just going to talk all the way through until tomorrow there. I think it's like, what's longer, Eric's prediction of the game or the actual game itself? I mean, wow, with the clock rules, I think that, I think it could be, I think Eric could have it here. I think it might be him.
Yeah. Eric, that's my guy.
Of course, but it's like, man, it's certain.
I know. I know.
The only thing you didn't tell us what was for dinner. It's like I was at dinner, and first they poured the water into the glass. I just drank my glass. The guy came by, put it there. There was about 6 ice cubes, maybe 7. It's like, oh man.
Yep. I gotta hit. You gotta say it. Today is.
Oh, it's my favorite day of the week during my favorite time of the year. And, a lot of the guys are really excited about today's card and, have a lot of plays out there. I have a reasonable amount of plays. I think that this could be a little trappy on today's card. A lot of teams with big games next week. So a lot of teams pulling starters and all that sort of stuff. There's a few rivalries that kind of slide under the radar in this week's games too. So those are always a factor as well. But, I think some of these big name teams like, Notre Dame plays Ohio State next week. Those two teams both in action this week. Oregon and Colorado, right? I mean, they play next week. That's a monster matchup, at least the way it's shaping up. Then we'll see how it plays out today. Then we have, a bunch of other giant games next week. So, we'll have to see how teams handle it today when the games start to get out of hand. So, we'll see how it plays. But anyways,
we'll see how it plays.
But a lot of big point spreads, so you always have to be worried because you're going to have your second and third stringers in there, kind of like what Miami did with Bethune-Cookman. They had, their walk-ons playing defense, and they give up a late touchdown. But they were never covering anyway. 50-52.
Yep. We're heading out to Florida for this one.
Yeah, I think this one's an easy money game. You see all the sharp chasers all over Florida in this one. The same suckers that were all over them against Utah. They got absolutely shellacked. It's like you didn't learn your lesson the first time. Graham Mertz just is not a Division I quarterback. Florida shaping up to be the 4th best team in the state of Florida at this point, the way that the direction this team is headed. And last year, 2 years ago, when I called for Dan Munson to be fired on this show, everybody laughed at me. Because, he played Alabama really close. A month later, he was fired. That's what happened. And I think Billy Napier is headed towards about that same destiny. Florida does not take to losing too kindly, and losing to rivals really gets worse. He loses this one badly. He loses that game at Utah on national television. I'll tell you what, you lose to Florida State, you're gone, man. You're going to be gone. And Josh Heupel, who's coaching Tennessee in this one, he coached at Central Florida, so he knows what it's like to be disrespected by Florida. Anyone that's on any other Florida school and anyone that's recruited against Florida, played against Florida, any of those things, has been totally disrespected by the University of Florida. And look for it to be payback time. I expect the Vols to put the dagger in this one. And while the Sharps chase, the Sharps' money was in a long time ago on this one, man. But you're seeing this thing drop. It ain't going to matter. Tennessee by 2 touchdowns plus, and everyone's going to be like, oh, but the line was going the other way and all the public was on It's like, no. Florida sucks. I mean, they suck. And eventually you have to just take into account when a team just sucks. I mean, Graham Mertz because Tennessee's going to put points on the board on that Florida defense. We saw Utah go over the top on them. They opened the top up on that Florida defense and were able to throw the ball down the field. But, imagine what Tennessee's going to do to them. They're going to go over the top on them. And Mertz, he don't have what it takes to fire back, man. He's going to be throwing interceptions and getting sacked and fumbling. That's what he does. The sharp chasers going to be they're going to be making the same excuses they did against Utah. Oh, Utah's the worst team. No, they're not. Florida is. They suck. They're going to get their ass kicked. 4th best team in the state of Florida. Maybe 5th. It depends on what Florida Atlantic does today at Clemson. I think you're a little off on Clemson, but that's okay. I think that what you have to look at Clemson is this team is super duper deep, man. They have a first-year starter at quarterback, Klubnik. The jury's out. He doesn't look as good as he was billed to be, but they had a top 5 recruiting class for years, so they have a lot of talent on this roster. Klubnik might not be the answer there, but they have other quarterbacks, and they have tons and tons of first-round draft choices on that team. So I think they might be a work in progress, but that game against Florida Atlantic's not really a pushover team.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Like you said, jury's still out. Jury's still out on Clemson. But in this one right here, I do agree. I think Tennessee is the much better football team, and I think Florida's still just overrated.
Way overrated, man.
Like if this, like I was telling Wayne about Penn State, if this game goes how it's supposed to, I think Tennessee is damn near better at every position on the field.
Yeah, I mean, if they couldn't cover Utah's receivers, how are they going to cover Tennessee? If you have a offensive coach, in Heupel who loves to run the score up, it's like Napier's has shown to have no answers in these games. I'm telling you, this will be the last time Florida goes to the Sun Belt looking for a coach.
Fair enough. What you got for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium today?
I don't have quite as many picks as everybody else. I have some picks that are only included in my long term. I have early 3-pack, a late 3-pack, and a play of the day. So that's it. But I have other picks that are not included in the packages as well. A total, a money line, and another side. So that's it. I'm starting to gain momentum in college football. 2 easy winners last night, Virginia and Air Force. So maybe I'm finding my footing. Normally I'm a slow starter. I know that. But I hit a few big money lines last week, kind of keep me in the game. So we'll see if we can hit some more winners today. Get to the winning side of things. I'm right there. I mean, I'm not like I'm having a horrible season, but I'm not winning. It's like so.
Yeah.
If you're not winning, you're losing, right? If not first, it's like Eric talks about the value. Oh, I don't mind losing if I'm on. It's like I kind of would rather win. It's like he says that a lot about like having your money in the right place and all that stuff. And I'm a value guy, but it's like eventually you have to win. It's like like last week, I lost a few games. I had Washington State on the money line and Miami. I got in early on the money line at plus 170. So, it made up for a lot. those two right there is plus almost 400 on 2 games. But at the end of the day, you still got to end up ahead. You still got to win. And minus 110, no matter how many points you're getting against who, if you lose, you're still paying the man.
Yep.
Who do you like today, Jay? What's your free pick? Texas A&M against Louisiana Monroe. I like that one. I'll tell you that much. I'm not looking for the Warhawks to put up much of a fight in that thing.
I will give out one. Let me find a game we ain't talked about yet today. I see what you used to go through at the end of the show.
Yeah, it's kind of like everyone's gone through a lot of the games, and it's like you've already talked about a lot of them.
Let's go with Florida State, man. Florida State, we'll just go out the gate, man. I think the hype is warranted. Boston College is one of those sneaky teams, but I don't think they're that damn good. I don't. They damn near got beat by Holy Cross last week. Holy Cross is better than many people think, but Boston College is not that good, man. And I think that Florida State runs these boys off the field, even on the road. It is what it is. I legitimately think Florida State could cover the spread by halftime, and it'd just be over with. So I'm gonna just take Florida State on the road against Boston College. It's just that simple. That's gonna be my free play.
I'm with you. It's like I could see it. Florida State has a lot of speed. So, I mean, for Florida State, it all comes down to the Miami game, and for Miami, it all comes down to the Florida State game, and that's the way that it's supposed to be, and that's the way it probably will be. I know Florida State's got Clemson next week, so they'll probably be taking their foot off the gas. That's another one with a big game, and, while you don't see Clemson that big, believe me, Florida State does, and as a big game, Florida State definitely does, because Clemson's got the speed to go with them. Out of the ACC, Clemson, Miami, and Florida State are really the 3 fast teams. So, if whoever makes it out of the ACC, if one of those 3 can somehow get through, and I don't think it's going to be Miami, I think it's either probably Florida State or nobody. If one of those can get through to the playoff, they're going to cause teams fits because we saw them run circles around LSU. I mean, they're way faster than them. But Clemson and Miami just as fast as Florida State, if not faster. And the thing is that, Boston College, same color uniforms as Florida State, so you always got to be a little worried about that. Remember, Florida State will be the road team. They'll be in the white uniforms today, so don't cheer for the wrong team. We've all done that.
I never get tired of that bit. For sale today, I got 5 college football plays, 2 of them for the long-term folk. You can hop on and grab those. But I got a money-making 3-pack. And I got my play of the day. I dropped it last night with the under in the Army game. I
didn't play that game. I didn't play. I could see the under there, but it's like, man,
I didn't see Army coming out explosive like that.
It was like 3 touchdowns over. It was, got you was that Hail Mary at the end of the first half. It's like, there's nothing worse having the under and then the Hail Mary at the end of the first half. It's like, no.
I just didn't see that happening, man. Army throwing the football, like, damn.
It's like mucking, it's like it's like, we're up a little high, but maybe we'll muck around in the second half, and then all of a sudden, exactly. It's like the guys are all signaling touchdown. It's like, no. Yeah, I didn't play that one. It's like it was a little.
Yep, that was my loss last night, but I'll bounce back 7-2 on the play of the day thus far in college football. So I plan on bouncing back today. Y'all can hop on it. And I'll preference this by telling y'all right now, in case you're wondering, it's not Colorado. It's not Colorado.
All right.
So y'all can hop on my play of the day if you're looking for that over at Pick Dogs Premium. Anything else, Mitch, before we get out of here?
I'm on with the sauce at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be on this channel, and we'll also be on his channel. So we definitely will be simulcasting on both channels this week. So tune in at 11 o'clock. It's going to be a good one. I think it's me and Ruffolo. Jay, you're on this week? You're not on.
I'll be on next week.
Next week for the big slate. Jay's not coming in for the under the radar slate. the trap week. A lot of people like think these are like trap weeks and all that other stuff. This is, I don't know, man. This is like, I mean, you look at some of these big numbers and you look at the schedule next week and you're just like, oh man, you know, do they try and run it up and get the backups in as fast as possible? It doesn't always work, you know?
Yep.
Doesn't always work.
Yep. Yeah, I'll be back on that one next week, but I'll for sure be on the NFL show in the morning. So,
all right.
Let's make some money today, fellas. I appreciate all y'all in the comments. Appreciate everybody viewing. Hop on with your favorite handicapper over at Pig Dogs Premium. Let's make some money today. And we'll see y'all. I'll see Mitch and them in a minute, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.